This thing right here. All right. Anyone know what this is? Anyone know what it's from? Hmm? Hmm? Any guesses? Any guesses at all? This is a picture the rover took. That is correct. It is a broken hill, an ancient crater. Human tendency to find faces everywhere may explain the teddy bear on Mars. So, I don't know about you guys. Before even getting into it, those eyes look almost too good. You know? The circle around it, it's too perfect. We're gonna read on to what it actually is, right? So, scientists studying the surface of Mars recently found a piece of the rocky planet smiling back at them. An image shared January 25th by the University of Arizona, what appears to be the face of an enormous Martian teddy bear, complete with two beady eyes, a button nose, and an upturned mouth, grinning at the camera of NASA, or NASA's, Mars Recon Orbiter. According to the UA, this photo of an uncanny assortment of geological formations was snapped on December 12th, 2002, as the MRO cruised roughly 156 miles above the red planet. So, what's really going on here? Scientists believe it's most likely just a broken up hill in the center of an ancient crater. One scientist says there's a hill with a V-shaped collapsed structure, the nose, two craters, the eyes, and a circular fractured pattern, the head. This circular fracture pattern might be due to the settling of a deposit over a buried impact crater. So, scientists are saying that this is just a random assortment of rock formations that have magically turned into what you believe is the face of a teddy bear, but in reality it's just coincidence, right? Looks like a duck that makes grilled cheeses at night. Where you get that cheese, Danny? I believe that there might be some truth in that, because humans often find faces in the unknown or the strange, right? Our brains try to make sense of what we're looking at. But I also kind of believe it looks like a teddy bear. Just saying. You know? I could look at the ground all day and not find a single teddy bear face. Just saying. Just saying. It doesn't look man-made, though. Maybe Mars is just one big teddy bear. You ever think about that? What if a body was formed and then it just decided to grow arms with that body and just decided to hug Mars like a giant teddy bear? That'd be wild. Scientists explain that, nerds. Eggheads. Not really spooky, just something I found interesting. You know? I find Mars in itself terrifying in the aspect that one day we could be colonizing it. One day, maybe in the next 4 billion years, 400 years, 5 years. Who knows? I'm not a scientist. I just cook food, and I make poor jokes on the internet. Now the next 100 years? I don't know, man. The future could be weird. We could be visited within an alien civilization in the next 5 years. They give us the technology to do so. And the next 15 years, we could be raising kids in the surface of Mars. Who knows? Who knows? What's up, Louise? We're just having a very short campfire story. This next one I find interesting. Because while I believe the teddy bear formation, for those who are just joining us, looks like that, I believe this one was just natural occurring, right? It's too, like, gnarled to be that. This next one, I have doubts. Let me go ahead and pop up the image real quick. Now, some of you might see a spoon. Some of you might see a shadow of said spoon. But scientists believe it is something more. This is a so-called floating spoon on Mars, spotted by NASA's Curiosity rover, is cooking up a storm on the internet. At least it was back in 2015. The uncanny spoon-shaped rock was photographed by Curiosity on Sunday, August 30th, during the rover's 1089th day on Mars. And word of the rock spread online in the days that followed. The Curiosity photo, a handle shape, juts out from an outcrop and ends in a rounded tip, much like a spoon. It even cast its spoon-shaped shadow on the ground below, but alas, per NASA, the spoon is not some leftover debris from a Martian campsite or kitchen like other sightings on Mars. It's a strangely shaped rock. There is no spoon, said Neo. This weird Mars feature is likely a vinifact, a rock shaped by wind. Now, Rip Curiosity, rest in peace, rest in peace. Now, I would say that this could be a rock formation, but I believe it looks too perfect to be rock formation, right? It looks like... Do you know those spoons you get from Dairy Queen? The really long-handled spoons so you can hit the bottom of your Blizzard without getting your knuckles dirty from ice cream? Now, that's what I believe it could be, right? Obviously, it's not exactly a Dairy Queen spoon. But you gotta admit, it does look like a levitating spoon. Like, are you telling me, right, that the strength of that base of that rock is strong enough to hold that much weight? Take a look at the gravity on Mars. Earth. Mars surface gravity is only 38% of the surface gravity on Earth. Interesting. I still believe that that rock would collapse on itself, right? That's very interesting. And out of everything there, have we seen other rock-shaped spoons? How big is that spoon? How far away is that rock? These are questions I need answers for. If you weighed 100 pounds on Earth, you'd only weigh 38 pounds on Mars. So, like, if it's like a small little spoon that's, like, attached to the rock, I can understand that. But if it's like a big old spoon... I don't know, man. That can't be right. That's what Google's telling me on several things. And Google's never lied to me. I don't know. I feel the weight of the spoon would break it off. Or if it was attached to anything, it doesn't look like it's attached to anything. Because if you look close enough, you see where the base is, right? Wouldn't the shadow keep going up along the base until it touched? But it ends at the very end of the spoon, at the very base of the spoon. So the shadow makes it look like it's just floating. There's no base of the structure. There's nothing along that sorts. So the shadows will lie to you as well. Google AI is trash? Well, Mars.nasa.gov said that. So, I don't know, guys. I think that the spoon might be real. Might be. What do you think, Doc? Tennessee, Tennessee. Tennessee, Hurricane, Tennessee, Tennessee. Thanks, Doc. Since we're keeping it nice and short, we're talking about Mars. But why, yeah, why is, I don't know. I don't know why not a spoon? Why not a fork? Or knife? Why, and like I said, how big is it? And why doesn't the shadow connect to the base? Why isn't there more info? Why didn't they just pick up the spoon? The rover doesn't like the Curiosity have like claws hands. I actually don't know what the Curiosity looks like. Let me take a look at this. Curiosity rover. Look at the big picture, the top right. Oh, that's actually like land formations. There's another rock hovering too. Why does this? It kind of looks like it's in the water now, but it's not. You know how when you put something on the water and it floats at the top and creates a shadow at the base? Whoa. Everyone's talking about this spoon, but no one's talking about the hovering tadpole. Yeah, because everything else the shadows meet up with. It's just that one thing where the shadows aren't meeting up. And the spoon, of course. But now I'm more curious for the top right. The top right doesn't look like it's connected to anything. Oh man, Mars is weird, dude. I need more angles. Let me see if I can pull up more angles on that. Floating spoon. No, let's see. Because it was a rover, right? But I'm not sure if it was able to get more angles. I don't think that was its primary mission, to take spoon images. Yeah, all the images I see is just that one image. Because it doesn't... Yeah, it... Oh, but someone did mention the image you saw, Metal Gear Greed. Let me pull that up for you. Ignore the text underneath it. I don't think you... Hoverboard. That's a closer image of what you pointed out, Metal. Clearly, I don't think it's a hoverboard. But that was the closest image I could get of it. It kind of looks like it's connected in the left side a little bit. That's so weird. Why would it just have like a little thin piece just jutting out like that? I don't know. I don't know. This is messing with my head too. Listen, I came into this Campfire Story to be more scientifical, more understanding of Mars, things like that. Maybe get a cool, little fun fact, because Doc's not here. It's hard to do horror without him, because I just want to dump comedy over everything. But I'm beginning to think Mars is like a alien landfill. Which in itself is terrifying. Can you imagine having a whole planet just for a landfill? And then we're thinking about colonizing it? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Yetsa, hutsa. Do you have any other images of the rock? No, that's literally the only image of the spoon and the floating hoverboard. crazy. Hold on, hold on. I now have a second spoon. All right, Pete, there is a second spoon. Bam. That's too big. Help. Help. Bam. Second spoon. This one, it's not levitating. It's not hovering. Just chilling in the sand, bro. Like, you just got in eating a Frosty at Wendy's. You're in the middle of Nevada. Toss out your spoon out the window. Sandstorm kicks up. Covers the spoon. You know what? I think I'm on the conspiracy theory that Mars is now a dumping ground for aliens. I think I'm taking that train. I'm looking for more spoons. Why is there always spoons and no, like, forks? And clearly there's no sporks, the superior version of a fork and a spoon. Hold on, let me look up floating fork bars. If they have a floating fork, I'm done. I'm calling it. Alright, no forks. Only spoons. So it is clear that the aliens like soup. Makes sense. Easy to digest. Hydrating. Nourishing. Yeah, there's no floating forks, guys. There's just spoons. Spoons is the eye can see. Just a menage of spoons. Easy to transport? Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but soup is the superior method of food in space. That's not correct. So, you know how they have spoons? No forks, no knives, just spoons. You know they have teddy bears that are etched into the planet's surface. But did you know that the Martians could read? What does that look like to you guys? What does that look like? Cheese? Or bread? Possibly. Possibly. Or could it be an ancient and historic text? Right? It almost looks like pages of a book that's just mummified open. Possibly. Possibly. Our definition says that paper should be in the book, but what if they were using rocks? What if they were using some weird silicon-based material that fossilized beyond our any imaginations? Obviously, it's not true, but you have a theory for me. Go ahead, lay it on me. I'm all about theories here at the Doc and Man Show. And if you say LSD, I'm with you. Could be. Could be. But while you bring up that theory, we're going to talk a little about, just a little bit, how this rock came to be real quick. Scientists believe the shape is a result of interplay with wind and water, and a little bit of the human brain. While many of these rock shapes on Mars hint at a dynamic past, the rocks often objectively look like plain round pebbles. A few, though, remind the human eye of familiar objects. For instance, the Curiosity rover, shout out Curiosity, recently captured the images of rocks that looked like jagged shark teeth or delicate coral. Metagreed says, what if human life didn't start on Earth, but Mars, and telling of Noah's Ark is simply a spaceship coming to Earth? That is a theory. Louise Louise the farm lady says giants used to live there and left all their crap just laying around. That is a plausible theory. That Mars is just one big waste fill for the aliens. After seeing multiple images of multiple items being left on Mars, or at least the rock formations look like things have been left on there, I don't think I've ever seen a rock formation in the shape of a book with pages. You know? Coral would actually make sense. Mars used to have oceans and rivers. Well, as far as we could tell, and they used to. The human propensity to see familiar objects in ambiguous patterns is called pareidolia, which is what every scientist on forever is saying. This is what's happening. You're just seeing things that are familiar to your human eye. That spoon never existed. That floating hoverboard, just rocks. Rocks as far as the eye could see. Famously, in 1976, a photo was taken from the Viking 1 spacecraft, exemplifying this phenomenon on a larger scale. The image seemed to show an eerie face peering up from the Mars' surface. The face of Mars became a pop culture sensation and fuel for conspiracy theorists about alien monuments. Let's see if we could bring up that face on Mars, shall we? Let's take a look. Face on Mars. Any national news? I'm sure it did. I am sure it did. I'm gonna take a look at this. Whoops. Alright. So this is the infamous face on Mars. I could see... Like, clearly I see a face, right? Let's not beat around the bush. But... the spoon. This one is, you know, it's a little hazy, right? I feel this is more sharpened, made to pronunciate the darkened of, like, the so-called eye sockets, things like that. I think that, okay, I have the actual picture. The one that's not, high-defined. As soon as I can figure out how to save it. One day. Soon. Spoon. Spoon, spoon. What is that beeping noise? I heard a beeping noise, but... Chat, I am going insane. This is the downloads, please. Thank you. Let's take a look at this real quick. Here's the face, right? Or faces. Yeah, you can clearly see it's been altered, right? It's been, you know, I believe certain parts of it have been saturated or edited to make it look more facial, which is fine. And I could see a face, but I'm not convinced. If you look at the spoons are very detailed. There's no blurry image about this spoon. Just saying. Do you see? I could see the grains of sand on this spoon. The face, I don't believe it was a face. Rock formation. Spoon? Looks like a spoon. If it scoops like a spoon, talks like a spoon, spoons like a spoon, might just be a spoon. So, if we think they're spoons, why can't there be books? Well, let me give you some information about these books. Books aren't real. Curiosity captured the picture of this book Rock, on April 15th. It's a tiny feature, just 2.5 centimeters, or about 1 inch long for those freedom fighters. The origin of this miniature sculpture likely stretches back some 4 billion years, when the sediments that make up the base of Gale Crater were being deposited. At the time, the region hosted liquid water that traveled through the pores in the rocks, depositing minerals in some of the spots and dissolving them away from others. This leads to an uneven properties within rocks. Fair. So when the rocks erode, the point they're on the planet's surface and the wind whips against them, they don't wear away evenly. That's what you're seeing there. Is the scientists say that this is simply not a book. It is a figment of time and water and minerals and all sorts of goodies that I fully don't quite understand. So I just like to cook food. But what if it was something more? What if this was a book and it's just been fossilized over time? We use paper to write in our books, but what if aliens used something else to write in theirs? And it's not like we've always used paper. We've used papyrus, stone, even walls to write down our knowledge. Though if it was a book, it'd be pretty small. Only 1 inch. Well, you could do with 1 inch, though. Huh? I was expecting Doc to show up by the time I finished with my three story Mars episode. It was gonna be like a little short episode, a little taste of Mars before Doc showed up. But Doc's internet is down. So we're gonna go back to the spoon and look at the spoon again. I need everyone to channel their energy, their might, their understanding into this spoon. This spoon right here in front of you. And may summon Doctimus Prime from the depths of power loss. Are there any Earth spoons? The spoon is a lie. Just as Neo attempted to, the spoon does not exist. It has always been a lie. There's only sporks. Or spoons. Or spaffoons.